Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. This is Kaiserreich, and we are playing on the latest version of La Resistance. It has been updated, and I just want to take a moment to say I love this splash screen. This splash screen is phenomenal. Oh, it's good. One of the things I really like about this is if you've seen the film A Bridge Too Far with Sean Connery playing as a British paratrooper, that's basically Sean Connery right there. And it's iconic. If you haven't seen A Bridge Too Far, I would really highly recommend you go and do so. It is a phenomenal Second World War film. And it's all about the Dutch, or the Netherlands. No, it's about the Allies in the Netherlands. But still, really good film. And yeah, that's probably one of my favourite film characters right there. So as soon as I load that up, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And as you may insinuate by Return and the Canadian flag over here, this is all about the long road home. This is all about the Canadians. The Canadians have got a new focus tree. After the Revolution of 1925, the royal family and other British exiles found refuge in Canada. With the support of the Conservatives, they established a semi-official government in exile, in the hopes of one day reclaiming the home island. All is not well, however. The Canadians are growing weary of the British presence, and in 1931 the Conservative government fell to Mackenzie King's Liberals, who now holds a slight majority and see to assert greater Canadian sovereignty in the face of mounting pressure to prepare for the inevitable confrontation between the Entente and the Third Internationale. So what do we have going for us? We have the Anglo-French tensions, which is going to reduce our daily political power cost and also give us some stability negatives. And we have the Great Depression. Consumer goods factories up a whopping 25%, construction speed down 25%, factory output down 25%. Our recovery from the Great Depression was going well until Black Monday hit our shores. Thankfully, the Canadian economy isn't nearly as tied to the German markets as some, and our economists say it won't be long before we can recover from this extra hurdle that's now been placed in our path. That's a bit of a weird description, seeing as Black Monday hasn't actually hit yet, but okay. Connery played Major General Roy Urquhart, commander of the British 1st Airborne Division in The Bridge Too Far. It's a fantastic film. It really is, and I really encourage you to go and watch it because it's fantastic. Okay, we are going to be playing as the Dominion of Canada over here. Ooh, we start out as Market Liberal. I see this is all going well so far. You know what? I'm just going to leave this as completely normal. Who else has got a new focus tree? I think Russia does. Maybe one or two others, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually seen the patch notes. I just know that Canada got an overhaul, and I really like Canada, so we're going to play this. I'm Mordred in chat, happy to see Kaiserreich back. Yeah, so am I. I've missed this game. So, quick note, haven't actually tested this yet. I loaded it up very briefly just to see if it loaded, and it does. I don't actually know if the game itself is stable or if there are bugs or anything like that, so new update warning. That's all pretty standard. Okay. One other thing I want to point out just before we get started here is I have finally gotten around, and it has caused a few problems. As you can see by the millions and millions and millions of division name lists, to adding, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. I don't know why this has happened. This is always really buggy. A subscriber division name list. So now, if we are creating any new infantry divisions, which we are probably going to be doing, they are now named after the current subscribers as of about an hour before this stream started. And I tweaked it a little bit to actually make it a bit more awesome than it was previously, so it will actually like put division after the name. It's properly capitalized. I'm pretty proud of this, but it does come with the downside of having these millions and millions of division name lists. And I have no idea why it does that. It's really weird because I haven't actually changed anything about the Canadian name list except for adding the subscriber division to it. So yeah, I always feel a bit bad about how little I sometimes get to use subscribers, especially now that there's about 250 of you. So this is one way that I'm hoping to pay that back. I also updated my patron list last night, so we'll see patrons in as well. And Kickass has gifted a sub to 406 Mob. 406 Mob, congratulations on the gifted sub courtesy of Kickass. The cast is amazing. Dirk Bogard, James Caan, Michael Caine, Sean Connery, Edward Fox, Gene Hackman, Anthony Hopkins, Ryan O'Neill, Robert Redford. Yeah, it's such a good film. Do I have a vague idea of where I want to take Canada politically, Mordred? I would like to politically take them over here, probably. That's my goal. I'm going to make Britain British again. Wait. Was there anything else I needed to do? I don't think so. So before we get started here, let's take a quick look at the Russian focus tree. Because obviously I'm interested. One of the bugs... No, I did see a patch note. Huzzah! And one of the patches made it possible for Wrangel to become the Tsar again. So I think that we in chat should show proper appreciation to Wrangel being the Tsar, as he rightfully should be. Blue Ocean gifted a sub to Reigns. Thank you very much for that, Blue Ocean. Very much appreciate that. Reigns, congratulations on the gifted sub. And I'm sorry that I kind of burst out giggling there. Blue Ocean, if you haven't done so already, you really should check yesterday's VOD on RimWorld. Blue Ocean is becoming a bit of a hero of that playthrough. Viking helms for everyone. No, we need to show Wrangels for everyone. In Wrangel we trust. There we go. And Silver Knight, thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciate that, Silver Knight. Thank you. And we apparently have a hype train going. We are 69% of the way to level 2. So thank you everyone. You guys are awesome. And Halleck, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. And there we go. We just hit level 2. Choo-choo! Hype train. Okay, so this is the Russian focus tree, and the first thing you will notice is we don't have the path of choosing your government anymore. You have political stabilization, restoring the monarchy, republic, or the firm hand, which I'm guessing is national populist. Restoring the monarchy, I'm invite the legitimate Tsar, Tsar Kirill, maintain Dmitry. So how do you get Wrangel? We're definitely going to have to do a Wrangel game. Maintain, politically liberalize. Voice of the Tsar. Damage to garrisons minus 20%. Damn, that's nice. So it's good to see that they're already using some of the new mechanics as well. The Great Library. Hype train. Better not be starting the Siberian Railroad incident. And then we got these things, which are your economic. So what it looks like they've done with Russia is just condensed it. This is small compared to how it used to be. It used to be gargantuan. Yeah, it just looks like it's condensed. Alright. Oh wow, 7 days. 14 days. 49 days. It looks like a lot of this stuff is a lot quicker. Oh no, I'm playing with the revised focus tree mod. So that might not be 100% proper. Union of Britain, I don't think changed. Except I could have sworn that this was on the left. Wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it was. So maybe it has changed. But that's not who I was trying to click on. I was actually trying to click on Canada, because you're all probably very curious about what's happened with the Canadians. So, the Canada tree has changed. We have the King's Speech, which leads down to the draft bill of C7. We have Quebec in Flames, which is basically our relations to the Quebecois, who are the Anglo-French tensions, I believe. We have the Crown Corporations. This is our industrial focus, eventually leading us to a decision between industry, military industry, or naval. We have the Expanded Air Force, which is our Canadian Air Force stuff and planes. The Navy, State of the British Fleet, Canadian Shipbuilding Plan. Get some pretty hefty naval bonuses. Lots and lots of dockyard construction. Some more construction speed bonuses. So we get 10% cheaper ships, like everything. Oh hell, we might even get 20% cheaper. Are these permanent? Canadian Shipbuilding Plan. Submarine destroyer, light cruiser, cruiser, dreadnought, battleship, carrier, 5%. Expanding dockyard decisions, which allow us to do even more. Then we get the Yarrow shipbuild is unlocked, and Canadian shipbuilding. That's then 10% change for everything. Then we get to here, which is focusing on the RCN, which is another 10%. So yeah, we have 20% cheaper ships, and also dockyard construction speed plus 25%. That's interesting. Okay, so Canada can have a freaking huge navy by the looks of things. I approve. And then the Americans at war, so this is an intervention in the American Civil War to our south. And then Return of the King. And this is basically when we introduce Tolkien. Just kidding. This is when we go back to Britain. Okay, there we go. Grasswing! Whoa, thank you very much for the bits. That is incredibly generous. Thank you very, very, very much for that. I'll be tossing sharp bits at Mordred's face today. It kind of looks that way, doesn't it? I mean, now that you can see my face a little bit clearer thanks to the new lighting, I guess that's possible. Huzzah! It's good though, Russia's focus tree was a bit of a tumbleweed than a proper tree before this. Wow, it was huge though. It was like an impressive way of introducing people to this, saying, look at this focus tree, it's enormous. Huzzah! I think that firm hand is both Nat Pop and Wrangel. That could well be, actually, now you say it. Yes, because Wrangel emerged from the National Populists and then declared himself Tsar. Huzzah! And Gigao! Thank you very much for the gifted subs. That is incredibly generous. Wow, we're already a level 4 hype train. We're about to hit level 5. I think 4 is our record. I'm pretty sure that 4 is our record. So, Silver Knight, Chunderlord, Eccentric Tom, Photon DK, and Zorak Gamer. Congratulations on the gifted subs, courtesy of Gigao. Gigao, thank you so much for that. Huzzah! Silver Knight, thank you also for the bits. Very much appreciate that too. Tossing ongoing. Speaking of Gigao, I'm guessing that you've seen the latest EU4 update, which went live today, where they're changing the estates. It looks really similar to Mio and Tax's, which is a good thing, because I really liked Mio and Tax's estate system. They've definitely taken some inspiration from you guys. Any plans to have this become a UK game, or are we stuck with Canada? No, we're definitely going to be going UK. Because I want to see how they deal with the British rebuilding, because that used to be... like, there was no point doing it. By the time you finished rebuilding everything, it would be the 1950s. Yes, the lighting has definitely made aiming easier. Good. And Faceless has also gifted a sub. Who was that to? Huzzah! 3F Tropus. Congratulations on the gifted sub, courtesy of Faceless. Thank you very much for that, Faceless, as well. And there we go. Level 5 Hype Train. That's a new record. We have never hit level 5 before. You guys are insane. I'm still trying to catch up in the chat. And you are so far ahead of me. Faceless has gifted a sub to Nom Plurostra. Congratulations, Nom, on the gifted sub, courtesy of Faceless as well. And Bellicosity coming in with 150 bits. Thank you very much for that. You could always use more ammunition for the pew-pews and the booms. We need bigger boomsticks. Choo-choo, hype train for the Vikings heading towards good business. And we are market liberal, so there's going to be a lot of good business being done here. Kickass has gifted a sub to Queen. Queen, congratulations on the gifted sub as well. And Cry for Succor has redeemed a shout-out. Well, in that case, I think that we should all hail the cry for succor. Let us turn his cry for succor into a cry for awesomeness. Let him be properly succoured with the generous hails from chat. So chat, I want to see a hail for cry for succor from all of you, because he clearly deserves it, and it's just good business to hail properly. Let's make this a proper hailstone to cry for succor. Poet, UK rebuilding is pretty good as long as you manage the reconquest quicker than I did. Took me until 48 to reach London. Yeah, I'm hoping to beat that. But I'm not like speedrunning this or anything. I'm not a metagamer, so we'll see what happens. And there we go. The hails are coming in. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Alright, so let's do some focusy stuff. I think that we should probably start with the King's speech, except that we can't because Edward's not the King yet. Okay, does that mean we're completely locked out? Yes, we are completely locked out. literally can't do any of this until that. Okay, that's fine. Then research. We start with 5 research slots, so this is good. We're going to go with the fairly standard opening. And one more. Probably a doctrine. Alright, so what are our designers like? We've changed the order of this stuff. Leyland Motors is soft attack and reliability, so that's going to be very good for SPGs. Although we'll lose that when the UK exists. This one is breakthrough and max speed, so that's going to be good for medium tanks. And then Canadian Vickers, light tanks, tactical bombers and light cruisers. So this buffs just a lot of different stuff. That's interesting. So that's an armor, light attack, heavy attack buff for light cruisers. What is the naval ship designer going to be? So we've got Halifax, which is for carriers and heavy ships, so armoured cruisers, battleships, and dreadnoughts. Which is armour, anti-air, and surface visibility, which is alright. That's very, very tanky. Or light attack, heavy attack, max range, also for heavy ships. So we have no bonus to cruisers. So that immediately is putting me against the Vickers one. So I'm kind of leaning towards Leyland Motors, because generally, without any of these buffing armour, we just want them to do damage. So I think we're going to go medium tank, so possibly mobile warfare. Do we have a motorized modifier? I don't think we do. We have artillery, which just makes it cheaper. Breakthrough and soft attack. Infantry equipment cheaper. And infantry equipment, soft attack, breakthrough, and hard attack. I think we're almost certainly going to go Canadian arsenals. That is looking good. And let's see, I've missed a couple here. Shavarash has gifted a sub as well to Aussie. Aussie, congratulations on the gifted sub courtesy of Shavarash. Thank you very much for that generosity. Thank you. Political breakdown is much more different than vanilla. Yeah, it's like one of the biggest changes, I would say. And thank you very much for the bits there, Gigao, as well. Man, you are in a generous mood. Thank you so much for that, Gigao. Very much appreciate it. And there we go. We have hit the level 5 hype train. That was level 5, wasn't it? Yeah, level 5 completed. Such strong support. I agree. That was a good showing, everyone. Thank you very much. Alright, making decisions still. So we're going to have very good infantry equipment, which still carries across for mechanized. We don't necessarily have great mechanized units. Our artillery is going to be subpar, so I think we might well go mobile warfare. We don't have any bonuses to planning, which basically negates grand battle plan. We don't have the population for mass assault. Which basically just leaves superior firepower. We don't have great artillery for that. So yeah, we're going to go mobile warfare. Let's bring in the Canadian tanks, because our medium tanks are going to be good. But it's going to be about the only thing that is. But that will do. So let's start researching that too. Okay. Oh, actually, do we have theorists? No, theorists don't exist in this. So that's irrelevant. And then aircraft. How's the aircraft? So we have air attack, agility, and range, which is really good for fighters. Canada Air's just cheaper. And then Bristol is also really good for the close air support. Ooh, Canada's Air Force is going to be good. You have some locked out design companies. I think there's a bug where they're not visible until you get the focus that unlocks them. Pretty sure that was already shown. Oh no, you're right. No. Has completed focus expand HMC Halifax. So that seems to be working as designed. Hey Lozman. What's the plan for this run? Get back to Britain? Yes, we're going to try and get back to Britain. Do I start with any negatives? Yes, I do. I start with the Anglo-French tensions, which is a stability debuff and a political power cost debuff. And then also the Great Depression, which is an everything industrial debuff. So we really want to get rid of that soon. Alright, next thing. We have no penalties to infrastructure, so I think we're going to try and infra this area. And try and get that stuff built up again, but we're not going to be able to build very much. Not going to bother with tactical bombers. Not going to bother with naval bombers, because we'll just rely on the Navy to do that. Light tanks we can do with a few. Motorized we'll definitely do. Fighters will do. And then just regular old guns. So we'll make some of all of this. I can probably tone you down to 1, because I think we're just going to be using support in artillery. Maybe not. No, we'll go with 2. And then shipbuilding. We are going to need to reorganize our ship construction, because that is a hideous list. So we have a large submarine. We have improved submarines. We may want to rebuild stuff, actually. That's a point. Refitting. So we have an improved submarine build. We have an improved cruiser build. We don't have an improved cruiser, light cruiser, so we'll get rid of you. Coastal defense ships suck. Revised armored cruiser we have. Dreadnought we have. We even have a super dreadnought. Walter Creek into war. Super dread. Experimental carrier. Converted super dread carrier. Converted battleship carrier. Converted carrier. And then we actually have the Audacious class, which is an improved carrier hull. Okay, that's made this list rather more workable. Next up, let's go take a look at the navies. And let's bring them all to Quebec. And we'll work out what we want to do from there. So until they arrive, let's just start building some convoys. And then we'll switch out the convoy construction afterwards. Alright, cool. Canada actually becomes stupidly good air control if you go down the full air focus. Yes, I seem to remember that was what was happening. And actually I'm going to need to do some more Kaiserreich multiplayer, because I will be doing Kaiserreich Weekly. Which is actually a thing I should be talking about. So let's do that real quick. So there are a group of people called Kaiserreich Weekly who do, weirdly enough, weekly multiplayer games of Kaiserreich. So if you are interested in doing weekly multiplayer games of Kaiserreich, then you should join this community. They are also doing a tournament later this year. That's going to be in July. Beginning of July. And they are currently looking for teams for it. So if you go check out that document, it will give you all of the information that you need for the teams which are participating. I myself am commentating on this, so some of you may remember I commentated on this last year. And it was a really good fun. It was a really interesting tournament as well, because I don't do that much multiplayer. And I'm coming back again for it this year. So if you are interested in either forming a team, then please use my Discord to get a group of you together, or just head over here if you are interested in joining, and they'll put you in a team, because there will definitely be a couple of ad hocs. Or if you are part of a team already, or if you just have a group of friends who are interested in playing, then that would be really a good show. And this really, it's a great event, so if you have the opportunity to participate, I would really urge you to do so. The other thing I will do is link you to their Discord if you are interested in talking to them more directly. Create an invite. Let's make a never expire, generate, copy. So this is their Discord, if you are interested in joining them. And they're cool. I like them. And that's how I know that Canada has good air control. Do you need to be available every week? No. They have... I don't think it's quite like the protection system like I have at E4. It's more competitive than that. But you can play as smaller nations, or you can be a substitute, and then you don't need to be there every week. Okay, I think it's time. No, we need to get our armies together as well. Let's do this. This. Now, that's going to be American. Do we have any troops anywhere else? Can't remember how much of the Empire we still have. Let's use the shift control, or shift K for that, so you are training. And then we will have some air forces, which we'll keep here. That's where you already are. Cool. Right, so another thing I want to show off, because this has also received some love. This is actually the latest patch, which is 1.9.1. So those of you just playing vanilla La Resistance don't have this yet. But they have got, and I'm so happy that this exists now, a duplicate selected air wings button. I've wanted this for so long. So instead of going like create new air wing, plus 10, create another air wing, 100 planes this type, create another air wing, 100 planes this type, create, just press the duplicate and you get 100 of whatever air wing type this is. That's going to be so good. It also allows you to determine what type of air wing it is. So if we do say, can we not create an air wing? We can't create new air wings, probably because we have no spare planes. So I can't show you that just yet, but you can now dictate what type of planes are in the air wings. So for example, you can say, I want only the absolute newest tier 2 fighters in this air wing. Then that's all it will add to it. It won't add the older aircraft. Or you can say, I only want to use my oldest aircraft, or I only want to use these types of aircraft. You can do that. So there is a hell of a lot more stuff available here. Key Beetle, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Let's make sure I haven't missed any other follows. I don't think I have. Nope. Finally getting into Artivine 4 and the naval tutorial is beyond helpful. I am very pleased to hear that. I've heard from a lot of people that it's been helpful, which really, really makes me happy. Right, I'm going to unpause because we've now been going for almost half an hour, so YouTube's going to be having a field day with that. It's been 10 years since the collapse of the United Kingdom in 1926, and in that time, the King, the remnants of the British government, and over 1 million of the Empire's best and brightest and wealthiest have fled to Canada, with a clear expectation that an invasion would soon be launched to take back the home isles from the syndicalist upstarts. It quickly became evident, however, that the syndicalist position was stronger than anticipated. Early forays were rebuked, and the last decade has seen the Union of Britain become solidified and entrenched. The exiles, as they're called in Canada, have meanwhile been left adrift, determined to take back their homeland, but facing the political reality that this may never happen. One day soon. Almost 9,000 followers. I know we were close. How close are we? Getting distracted again. This seems like a worthy distraction, though. Let's take a look. We are at 8,833, so we just need 177? 67? 67. Yay, stream maths, it's always correct. Oh, you can do the reorganisation? Okay, I'll do that in a minute. While initially welcomed with open arms by the Canadians, the notion this might be a long-term arrangement has been an increasingly unpleasant one. Fingers were pointed and blame laid on those who were deemed responsible for the collapse and the subsequent inability to rectify matters, and resentment against the exiles, who were seen as a higher class in the Dominion, as well as above the law, has been growing. In 1931, a year after the election of the minority government of R.B. Bennett and his Conservatives collapsed, to be replaced by Mackenzie King and the Liberals, who promised focus on Canadian sovereignty and keeping the British government in exile at arm's length, rather than acting as if nothing had changed in the relationship. Only to be expected. Alright, so let's go back to the air. Click on you. Reorganize. Aha! So this is the new air wing reorganization system, where I'm guessing, see the manpower, it's using our manpower, where we can set priority, whether you want to be high or low, and then specialized. So specialized is saying we will only have this makeup of gladiator interwar fighters. And then we could say move some of them over there, and then it'll be like, that's going to be an elite air wing. So yeah, it's a cool system. I like it. I need to play with it more because I haven't actually had a chance to play with it at all yet. So we shall see how it works.